attend the classes regularly so that you can understand. Am I audible? Am I audible? Yes, Geeteshwari, am I audible? Bhakti,
Yes, ma'am.
Aishwarya, our
Yes,
voice
ma'am. You
is
are clearly
breaking.
audible.
My voice is not breaking na today.
It's just buzzing somewhat, but it's okay.
Buzzing. Okay.
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah, it's clear now.
Okay, thank you. So today we'll move with the. Today I have come up with brief overview of the slides. I have not kept more content on the slide. So I have kept little bit content. So that about that I would like to tell. Actually, for your syllabus, it requires only the 7 to 8 lectures for the first chapter. 7 to 8 lectures only. So these are the content which I was highlighting in the previous class also, but I was showing you about the exact syllabus. So in another content I'll be explaining about the Lexaniac in another one lecture. So totally 8 lectures are required. So let us briefly know about it once again. So here is the syllabus which I was highlighting in the so many different classes also. That is this is what the syllabus, and the same syllabus which I have shown in the PPT by marking them as lecture 1, lecture 2, which I will cover. Introduction means all the basics which you have to know about the system softwares. So like what are the processors, what are the languages, what are the system softwares. So in brief, it is all about, and what is the software development, because mainly here system programming is nothing but developing the softwares, developing the programs, and it is a interaction between the designer and the coder. So that is all about the in the introduction, brief introduction. And the main important is that you need to understand about the semantic gap. That semantic gap is nothing but what are the, not only one gap, there are several two different gaps. So that is covered in the lecture 2. And it's still introduction continues, still introduction continues. So it is covered with the language processors. And next is the topic called as 1.2, which is nothing but the language processing activities. And further in the language processing activities, there we have two language processing activities that in another lecture I'll be covering the language processing activities. And lastly, that is nothing but the fundamentals of the language processing. In this fundamental of the language processing, again we have two phases. So we shall study that fundamental of language processings, and in next we will be showing about the phases in the other lecture. So these are the content. So these are the content, and the same content is given in your syllabus also. So this is introduction, language processing activities. We have two activities, that is the language that is two activities we have. And those two activities are, that is program generation activity, sorry language program generation activity and program execution activities. These two are very very important to know. And lastly, we shall see some developing tools, examples how the language processing developers tools will be there. So this is what the language processors about the system programming in the first chapter which is given. So next in the one class I may cover about the Lexaniac, a brief overview about the Lexaniac programming, which is also a system program. And that system programming, it is also same equal to your Turbo C compiler, the Windows. So Lexeniac runs in some Linux, and it is same as the Turbo C compiler or your some different compilers. So Lexeniac is also one type of the compilers. So let us start now. The system programming, as I was saying, system programming has got several different devices or also their softwares we need to build, and those softwares such as the operating system, compiler, all your PCs, all your systems will contain these system softwares. Without these system softwares, your PCs or your computers won't run. Every PC, every system will have the language processings. Those language processings are nothing but the compilers, assemblers, loaders, and linkers, and interpreters also. Apart from this also, you'll be having the device programmings, that is nothing but the IO routine programs, and also the operating system programs such as the schedulers, and different programs which are used for the running of the system or for working of the system. We require the operating system, and in that operating system we have many several programs. So those several programs are also called as the, including the operating system, are also called as the system programming. So for how these system programming are done, let me go back. Some prerequisite how these system programming are done. This system programming are done based on the software development steps, as the software development steps which you all have studied in or going to study in your software engineering. So software development steps, they themselves are nothing but the stepwise or the phases of the software developing, how the designer gives something a design or the plan to do some coding, or to, and that coding how it is further tested. So these all are nothing but these steps to design any program and to design any software. So like planning is there, feasibility is there, and product design, coding, and implementation, and the later comes for testing after coding and implementing it properly, and later comes for the software testing and how we can install that in different operating system, and the further maintenance, like how you are maintaining for 1 year, 2 year, how you are maintaining, how you are keeping without that system in without that program, without any errors, that program in your system with the proper installation, how you're maintaining. So that is all the maintenance. So how this software is developed is Pranesh and Onkar. Anybody can tell what I have told now? Yes, what is system programming? Yes, anybody? Yes, anybody can tell what is system programming? Yes, what is system programming? Hello? Yes, any student? Diksha? Yes, Diksha, Shruti, Pranesh, Onkar. Nobody is responding. Sonia, Yogesh, Vanishri. Are you understanding the system programming? System programming actually has the two class is One is the application and the other one is system program. Computer has got two classes of programs. One is the application and the other one is system programs. So application programs are your MS Office, Adobe, Acrobat, that is Acrobat, games. All these are called as application softwares. And system programs are called as, those are the big programs which run the application. Those are the big programs which run the applications, and those are the big programs which handle the system, which handle the computer. And those are the programs which also handles the language processing. Which programs handles the language processing means compilers, loaders, linkers, all the software utilities which are required for handling the language processings, like compilers, loaders, linkers, assemblers. All these are called as language processings. And apart from this, to run such programs, operating system is required. So operating system itself is also a big program. So what do you mean by here? System programs or programs are nothing but the system softwares is a collection of system program that performs a variety of functions like IO management, storage management, generation and execution of the programs. Yes, anybody? Pranish, your class is not responding. Prashant, well, Prashant will be regular to the class. Giteshwari, Giteshwari, Onkar, Mukund.
Yes, madam.
Ha, tell Mukund. Anything you reply. What is what is the computer programs? Computer programs, we have two types of computer programs, that is application programs and system programs. The application programs are called as something like, those are the small programs which runs in the system software, or which run with the help of the system softwares. And what are language processing programs or the softwares? Language processing programs or the softwares are loaders, linkers, compilers, interpreters and assemblers. These are nothing but the language processings. And if you want to do some games, some typing, some paint, so these are nothing but the applications. These are nothing but application programs. So understood? Now one concept I have told, the difference between the application program and the system program. System programs are the big programs including the operating system, and these manages the IO memory and they run the program. So these are called as the system programs. Application programs are the small programs which are used for small applications, which are meant for particular applications, and those applications where they can run, those applications they can run in system program. And where your languages will run, your languages will run in language processing programs. Who are the language processing programs? Those are nothing but assemblers, compilers, loaders, linkers. Are these are called as language processing programs. Getting how the softwares are classified? Yes, shall we have some quiz otherwise? Hello? Are you understanding? Hello? And all these software designing are done using the, or all these softwares are done using the software development. Software development has got its own step. This is very important to know because you have to understand about the semantic gap. Why there is a semantic gap? There is a semantic gap between analysis, sorry, between application and between application program and execution program. Now, what is the application? Applications are your applications, like what the user wanted or what the customer wanted the applications. Customer wanted some editor, customer wanted some password designing, customer wanted some paint, customer wanted some painting so that we can paint, customer wanted some something to type, some environment to type. So these are nothing but the applications. But if you see the variety of applications in typing only, sorry, in typing a document only, you have Microsoft Outlook, you have Excel, you have Word. So where you can do the typing, but in typing also again different variety. I want to do some mathematical operations. I want to do some column rows and rows. So there is a particular differentiate. So what you need exactly, that is mentioned in the design, that is mentioned in the design, that is what called as the product design. And the way what you want, that is nothing but the planning. And feasibility understanding is nothing but analysis, is nothing but understanding the right, so that the time should not be wasted, effort should not be wasted. So that is what feasibility and analysis of any project which you wanted to do, or where any project which you wanted to build the software. So that time feasible analysis is done. And next part, it is a coding where the execution takes place after a coding where the execution takes place. And this coding is very important, how the designer gives, based on that the coding goes. So the, and later how you are installing in your system, that is all the implementation, sorry, the how you are integrating that code, that is all about the implementation. And testing is the time, like say for example, you are testing your software, whether say for example some typing a document testing only is there, or that typing a document, even in Excel also you can type, and even in Word also you can type. But in Word it gives you a free hand of typing a document like book, but in Excel it gives you a typing, but it takes something some computation, something, it manages the typing in rows and columns. So if you don't want such particular differentiations, are nothing but what, are nothing but the product design, or such particular differentiation or such particular work or the task is called as the product design. And testing is nothing but something. So for example, if you are designing something, a password, that password is not up to the mark, that you can realize only at the end of the software. So again testing is nothing but if any wrong of, if the expected output is not reached up to your level, so once again you can go back and do the software development once again. That is called as the cycle, software development cycle. And later is how you are installing that in small systems, big systems, mobile, all these are nothing but installations and the maintenance. So why I'm explaining the software development? Why? Because in lecture 2 we we wanted to know the semantic gap. What is this semantic gap? This semantic gap is nothing but some meaningful understanding between the designer and the coder. Who is that designer? The application domain. The application domain and the execution domain. So it is in the previous slides also, when I was explaining there also, I have told you there is a gap. What gap you are having? You are having some gap of the semantic gap. Why this semantic gap? The semantic gap is nothing but a meaningful gap. This meaningful gap, if it is losing, you cannot develop the software as per the expected output, or you cannot develop the program or the software as per the expected output. And application domain is the one where you wanted which type of application, say for example, in the previous class also I was telling, say for example, you wanted an application where sorry you wanted an application where you wanted to have the password, but password, simply you told you wanted to have the password application for some form filling. So password application means a coder now start doing the password. But at the time of testing, what does it happens here? Now the designer, maybe it is a designer fault, or maybe it is a coder fault, or whose fault, we cannot understand here. Why? Because the designer has given just a design to coder. The designer has given just a design to coder to do the application. Which application? Password application. That password application is built accordingly his own in the sense, yeah, password, normally how the passwords will be, say for example, length of 8 characters. But here the customer wanted that application to be done in such a way that or the designer wanted that application to be, or the application wanted that application to be done in such a way that where it should have one minimum character and one minimum capital alphabet, and one minimum special character, in such a way. But what he has done simply in small case it suggests a number of 8 letters in small case. So what is that losing here? A losing is, what is the gap here? There is no understanding between the application domain and execution domain. Execution domain is coding part. Who has developed the coding? He has just built some 8 characters coding. And application domain is the one designer part. He has told just to design a domain, to design a password. So what is lagging here? Clear cut idea is lagging here. That clear cut idea, that proper meaning generation is lagging here. So that is what. And there is a difference between application domain and execution domain. Why there is a difference between application domain and execution domain? Because both of them have no clear cut idea. He just said to build a password, so he built a password. So that is the application application domain. A designer just said to build a password, so execution domain has just built the password. So are you understanding? What is that gap? That gap is nothing but semantic gap, where there is no proper understanding between the application domain and the execution domain. Or you can say as, there is no proper understanding between the designer and between the coder. There is no proper understanding between the designer and between the coder. Or coder is nothing but execution, because he just do the whatever the task is said, it is just done. So what is lagging? There is a lack of proper clear cut understanding. That is what called as gap, or that is what called as the difference between application domain and difference between the execution domain. So we use the term called as semantics to represent the rules of meaning of a domain, and the term semantic gap to represent the difference between the application domain and the execution domain. So what meaning we have to represent, so how we can bridge this, how a proper understanding can be made. So there should be something, a mediator which can bridge both of them, in the sense both the domains. How it can bridge both the domains, that I will tell. So due to this gap, there will be a lot of problems. If there is no understanding between two parties, there will be a lot of problems. So those problems are nothing but the consequences of semantic gaps. What are those problems? In the sense, large development times. It takes large development time. Why did it take the large development time? Why? Because now at the time of testing he is telling this is not expected the output. This is not expected the output. So there should be some minimum one character, one special character, one alphabet. So that is what the large that is what the large development time it takes. How the large development time it takes? Why? Because there was no proper understanding between both the domains. So now at last he is telling to do once again. So doing once again, so these are the consequences. Large development time it takes, and of course when time increases, and the effort also increases, the employees should have to work more on that. And also once the software is built, and the same software, if you modify, if you do some changes, the poor quality means the software becomes degrade. What? Degrade. So that's what it is called as poor quality of the software. So that's what here in the previous slides when I was explaining here, I just read here saying as the semantic gaps has many consequences, that is large development times, large development effort, and poor quality softwares. And these issues were tackled using one another. There should be something where we can bridge both the gap. How we can bridge both the gaps? There should be another domain where it understands the application domain and can convey to execution domain. Is is Pranesh Unkar understanding? Ahilya, Sonia, Diksha, Mukund, Prashant, anybody is there? Vivita?
Yes, ma'am.
Understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell what the gap which I have told? Pranesh and Omkar? Or shall I take some test? What are the processors? What are the processors? How many processors we have? Language processors. How many processors we have? What are the language processors? The language processors are nothing but which processes the language, like high level language and your low level language where a machine can understand. So those language processors are nothing but the compilers, loaders, linkers, assemblers. These are called as language processors. What are application softwares? What are application software? What is a system software? What is system software? What is system software? Is there anybody in the class? Yes, Ritvij. Is there anybody in the class? So there is a gap between. So there is a gap between application domain and execution domain. So this gap, how we can bridge this gap to have the proper understanding between both the domains. We can bridge this gap, and I have told you what are the problems. What are the problems due to the semantic gap? What are the problems due to semantic gap? So there are the three problems due to the semantic gap. When there is no clear cut or when there is no meaningful generation of execution domain, so there will be the three consequences, that is large development time it takes, and also it takes if there is no gap, if there is no semantic gap. So what are the consequences of semantic gaps? Large development times, large development effort, poor quality of software. So these are the consequences. And why poor quality also I have told. If the more you changes you do, the more you modify the software, so there are the chances of degrading the software product. So that's what it is called as poor quality of the software. Now how we can reduce these consequences? We can reduce these consequences by bridging some other mediator between the application domain and execution domain. That another mediator is nothing but PL domain. That another mediator is nothing but the PL domain, where the proper specifications, where the proper specification can be given by the designer to the application domain, and from application domain to the execution domain. So the gap between this is, the gap between application domain and PL domain. PL is nothing but programming language domain. programming language domain. So what is the clear cut programming language we need to adopt? So based on that, this programming language decides the clear cut idea, and this programming language bridges the gap of semantic. What were the gap of the application domain and execution domain? The gap of application domain and execution domain was semantic gap, and that semantic gap was the difference between the application domain and execution domain. And this semantic gap is bridging a gap between both the domains by having the PL domain. This PL domain, as the application domain as the application domain will get a specification from the designer to do a password. So the same password is converted to execution domain. So the same password is converted to execution domain without having a clear cut specification of the project or the product. So the execution or the coder develops the password. But now what happens? The PL domain will seek that clear-cut specification from the application domain to programming language, and this programming language gives the clear-cut proper meaning how to do that software, and what are the restrictions, what are the constraints are to be used in that project will give a clear-cut idea to execution domain. So this is what the gap which is fulfilling, the gap between the gap between the application domain and execution domain. The gap which is fulfilling, or the gap which is bridged between application domain and execution domain is by the PL, is by the PL. Now PL is nothing but programming language domain, which expresses the idea and the clear-cut design to execution domain. Now application domain, what it takes? It takes the specification of the design and gives it to the programming language. Programming language will give a clear-cut or the semantic meaning to the execution domain, and the gap between the application domain and the PL domain is called as the specification gap, is called as specification gap, and the gap between the PL domain and execution domain is called as the execution gap, is called as execution gap. Now what does he does? Uh, the same passwords, take the example of the same password. The same password to build, the password to build will give a specification, will give a specification to PL domain. The PL domain will take the same specification, clear cut specification, to execution domain, to execution domain. So in this way they have the proper understanding, and they do according to the password what is expected. Say for example, the specification domain gives the password to build with one minimum alphabet, with one minimum alphanumeric and the special character. So same restrictions are being noted by PL domain, and those PL domain specifications are given to execution domain to the coder, so that he can do the coding accordingly what is required, what is required. So the gap between the application domain and PL domain is called as a specification gap, and the gap between the PL domain and execution domain is called now the execution gap. The execution gap is a duty only to execute the program, where the specification gap is a duty only to specify the clear-cut idea to the PL domain, clear-cut idea to the PL domain, and what the application which you require, like password application, you required, and now it is ready for execution. Now it is ready for execution. Yes, have you understood? Yes, have you understood?
Hello. Hello. Hello, ma'am. You are not audible, ma'am. Hello. Ma'am, you are not audible.
Hello, sir.
हाँ ma'am, now you are audible, ma'am.
Sir, class is not interacting. Can you tell, sir?
You can continue, ma'am. I will attend your entire class.
Okay, okay. Okay, sir. So, as I have told that there is a gap between application domain and execution domain. This gap, how it can be fulfilled? This gap can be fulfilled. Why it is a semantic gap? Why semantic gap? Why? Because earlier there were the methods like application domain and execution domain. Directly a designer used to design a code and a designer used to give a design directly to the execution domain without giving any clear cut idea. Say for example, to do the password, so what the designer does, to do the password, in the sense that is the application which I wanted, a user wanted or some customer wanted a application software. That application software to do which type, which I have taken the example, something like I have taken the example like password. That password example to be done by the coder. Now the coder, how he does, based on the whatever the task is given by the application domain. The application domain directly tells to do the password, but there is no clear cut idea how to do the password, what are the restrictions to do that password, like whether it should have the 8 characters, or whether it should have some digit, or whether it should have some small case or special characters. There is no clear cut idea. So what the execution domain does, or what the coder does, the coder directly just do the password. So at the end, during the time of testing, what I have shown you the method here in the software design. In the software design, during the time of testing, software testing, they will come to know that this is not the expected code, or this is not the expected software. So to have that expected software, what the application domain has given, the same software has been designed. But now this is not the expected software. What now he is claiming, who he is claiming, the application user is claiming that I wanted a software that there should be a minimum of one character, one alphabet, and one special characters, which should be only of 8 letters, so these all restrictions or the constants were not given, clear cut idea were not given earlier. Now at the end they are claiming. So what does it happen here? It happens that there is no proper understanding. There is no proper understanding between the two domains, application domain and execution domain. So what it generates? It generates therefore a semantic gap. Now what is a semantic? Semantic means meaning. Semantic means meaning. So there is no proper rule, or there is no proper rule to have both the understandings of the application domain, what is required, what to be done in that software, and how it should be. So all these semantic gap gives in the sense there is a generation of clear cut understanding. There is a misunderstanding between application domain and execution domain. So how this gap can be bridged? This gap can be bridged. So due to this gap, before bridging the gap, I would like to tell the problems what it arises. The problems it arises something like, there are lot many consequences, that three consequences it arises. The semantic gap gives the three consequences, the problems at the end, like large development time it takes. How it does it takes large development time? At the end, during the testing time, now the application domain is telling that this is not the software which we wanted the software, it should have minimum of one alphabet capital letter, one special characters, and one number, and remaining should be of small case. So now they have started doing what the, now that is nothing but software recycle, or face is turned. Now right from the beginning they are doing the software. Who are doing the software? That is between the application domain and execution domain. Application domain means is asking somewhat different. So now application domain again has given the specification to the execution domain to do it. So now the execution domain have started the project. But here what it has been done, whatever the time now they have started, so it is consuming again the time. So therefore it is called as the problem of large development time. And of course when the time is more, when the time is increased, of course the effort is also increased. So there is a large development, means employee gives more effort to do what the software is asked exactly how the expectation to reach. So effort is also increased. Now by doing such modifications in the project, or by doing such modifications in the product, here in the software development I have told you, no, such by doing such modifications in the product, doing such modifications in the product design, what does it happens? It happens the degrading of the software. It happens the degrading of the software. Any software you take, if you do the more changes, if you do the more more modifications, what does the software happens? It is mean that it is a poor quality, means it degrades, the software quality degrades. That's what, this is the problem arised due to the semantic gap. There is no understanding, there is no understanding between application domain and execution domain. Application domain is the one which the user wanted, execution domain is the one where the program or that software built is executed according to the task given, but it is not exactly according to the task given. So that is what the semantic gap arises, the three problems. That is large development times, and large effort is given, and also the quality of the software also degrades. Now how we can bridge this? How we can bridge this application domain and execution domain? We can bridge this application domain and execution domain by having some another domain. So that another domain, who is that another domain? PL domain. We can bridge both the gaps, that is application domain and execution domain. We can bridge both the gaps by having the PL domain. This PL domain conveys or gives the proper understanding, or gives the proper understanding of semantic gap. What the gap it was having earlier, this gap gives the proper understanding of the semantic gap. Now semantic usually it is nothing but it gives the clear cut or the clear cut meaning of the product, what is being required, and it conveys the that meaning between the application domain and execution domain. the PL programming language domain, where it bridges the gap of semantic, that is what here it is told. Like software implementation using the PL introduces the a new domain, which is nothing but the PL domain. This PL domain makes the difference which was very wide. It makes the difference, sorry, it gets or it reduces the differences of application domain and execution domain. It reduces the differences of application domain and execution domain. Application domain, now whatever the specifications, what the specifications of the designer, what the specification of the customer, what the task wanted by the customer, that task or that application product, what the customer wanted, which type of project, that is conveyed to the specification gap. This specification gap is nothing but the designer who gives the design to the PL domain, and this PL domain, it gives the same specifications, same rules to the execution domain. Now according to the semantic rule, according to the PL domain rule, now the project is done. Now say for example, the application domain gives the specification to PL domain, saying as this is what the project which I wanted. Say for example, the password project, the password application project, where it should have minimum one capital letter, one number, one special character, and rest are small cases, and it should be the length of 8 characters. So these all are the rules which are given by the PL programming language domain. Earlier what it was happened, only the specification what the designer was given, that designer, he directly told to do the task of password to the execution domain, and directly that execution domain, without having a clear cut idea how which type of password to be done, directly it was done. Now a clear cut idea is given by PL domain. Now they need not to worry, whatever the task is given by the PL domain, it is his headache how the design should be framed, so it is this headache of the PL domain. So PL domain conveys a proper meaning or a clear cut idea, where in the application domain and execution domain there was no clear cut idea, both of them. Just a task is given, a task is executed. Task is given by the application domain, a task is executed by the execution domain. So that's what the semantic gap was arised here. Means a meaningful gap was arised, and to have the understanding between both the domains, it bridges the gap by having the specification gap, by having the execution gap. And these gaps are nothing but good gaps, which they are conveying the three domains, which they are conveying the specification gap conveys a clear cut, again trial and error will be between the application and between the PL. No, this is not like this, it should be, password should be like this. So they will have a clear cut idea here itself only, and the same clear cut idea or the rule is given to execution domain. Now it is a time of the coder or the developer, where he develops the password development. Now at the time of cycle there won't be any consequences problems. Why? Because now a clear cut idea is given by the PL domain. This is what the PL domain. Once again, I don't like to read, because as in the previous class I have told you about all how the PL domain is bridged here. That's what here I have told in the beginning of the first lecture of the starting. So this semantic gap differences both the two domains, and these were the problems, and this gap was fulfilled by having another two gaps, that is specification gap and execution gap. Specification gap is the gap between the application domain and PL domain, and execution gap is the gap only between the PL domain and execution domain. This is how it was told. And due to this PL domain arises some translators. So what are those translators? These were the translators. So have you understood or not? Let me ask here the concept which I have told, gaps. The concept which I have told about the gaps. So what was today's concept which I told you that I will be repeating? That I will be repeating about the gaps only. What were the gaps? Semantic gaps. Apart from semantic gap, which was bridging that gap by PL domain, and PL domain has given two gaps, that is the specification gap and execution gap. Specification gap and execution gap, and these makes the proper understanding between the application domain and execution domain by using the PL domain gap, by using the PL domain gap. Now let me know you that have you understood or not? Yes. Yes, have you understood, Pranish? Shruti, have you understood? Yes, have you understood, Shruti? Sir, Jagdale sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Why sir students are not responding? Sir, why sir?
Hello. Am I audible to all of you?
Sir, no students are responding.
Prashant
Hello?
Jadgiri has responded in chat box, ma'am.
Sir? Sir? Sir, now you are not audible. Hello, sir?
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Tell me.
And students are responding in chat box. So who has responded in chat box? You can ask them. Let's check.
No. They wanted me to talk. That's what I was talking them.
Okay. Just you can ask.
Now today I have explained one concept. I have not read the slide. Just I have shown them the figure. And one concept I have explained. First chapter I have repeated, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Ask them, ma'am. Ask.
That's what one concept I have explained, and they told me to not to take continuously in between to be asked. So I am asking, but they are not responding. Hello, Pranish.
Yes, ma'am. Ask. You ask
Yeah.
now.
Just wait. Pranish, Sonia. See, sir, nobody is responding. Because simply shouting again, it's not correct on my part. I'm feeling like that. I need to know what they wanted. As they said, it was one way. They were saying. Today I have taken law means like I didn't made like continuous talking. Continuous speaking. But sir, you ask sir why they are not speaking. Have they understood the concept of gap?
Sonia.
Ahalya,
Hello.
sir is asking you. Shruti, sir, they may respond you.
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, she's asking.
Ma'am, you can
Ask her.
ask her. She is responding.
Shruti, why
Yes,
you
ma'am.
people are not responding?
Sorry, ma'am, but near my house there is a checking of corona is done because in our lane yesterday one patient is found. So,
Okay.
ma'am, there is
Okay.
thermal protection of everyone is takes place. So I have.
Okay, okay.
Right,
Sir,
ma'am.
let me ask other student. Maybe she was not, she kept on her mobile. Yes,
Yes, yes,
Ashru,
ma'am. You can ask.
Ashru, Onkar, Pranesh, Prashant, Sneha. Because today what I have explained, let me know, no, how you have understood. Sir, nobody is telling, sir.
Ma'am, you continue.
Ha, sir.
You continue your class. I will ask
No,
them.
they also told me to take the test. I have come up with the test questions also, something I thought of giving 5. Earlier class test which was taken, apart from that, something class should be interactive, they were saying. So I have come up with the interactive session also. But they are not answering anything, sir. Yes, Pallavi. Pallavi, what is uh,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
is computer language? Sorry, today's topic you have understood, na? I have told you about the gap. Have you understood the gap? Semantic gap. How does it bridges the semantic gap? How does it bridges the semantic gap? Pranesh Onkar. I have repeated thrice. How does it bridges the gap? Vivita. Onkar. Okay, let me continue. Should I have to continue? Yes. Should I have to continue? Language processors. Now next is language processor is a software which bridge a specification and execution gap. Now this one, language processor is a software which is bridging the specification gap and execution gap. How this can be given specification gap, using what language, and execution gap using what language, how it can be bridged. So it can be bridged by using the language processors. So who are those language processors? Those language processors are nothing but the those language processors are nothing but a language translator and a detranslator, preprocessor, and language migrator. What it is doing, these language processors, it is bridging the gaps. Which gap? As I said, there were two gaps now between the three domains, that is between PL domain and application domain, and PL domain and execution domain. Why why these translators are required, or why these processors are required? These processors are required because how you do the specification of a so-called project or application. You do specification of a so-called project or a so-called by choosing some language. In a language, a translators are required. In a language, translators are required to process the language, and those specifications are done by using the translators. That is nothing but the processors. We require something, a preprocessor, something, not only a preprocessor, compiler to compile the source language, and assembler to convert into assembly language, and to convert it into target language. So execution domain gives the target language. So that is what this figure, like, say for example, preprocessors. We have a preprocessor where if you make a choice of some PL domain, something like C++, you have made the choice to do the project, or to do the project of that password. Assume that password project you want to do. So that password project, if you want to do, so what you need to do, you need to make some choice. So to choice of language, that language will have the so many translators. So that translators are nothing but preprocessor, detranslator, and language migrator. Suppose in C only, C++, so it takes the source program and using, so how the C language starts beginning, it has the header files, it has the body of the main, and body of the main specifies the coding, and this coding will be according to the specification, and it gives you an assembly language program if there is any error in the program. So these specifications are done using the specifications are bridged using the translators. So those translators can be the procedure oriented also, can be the object oriented also. That I will tell in further detail of the class. Yes, are you understanding now what I have told? I have told some semantic gaps, and those semantic gaps is bridged by the PL domain, and this PL domain again gives some gaps between application and PL domain, and between PL and execution domain, to have some language processors. Those two gaps, that is specification gaps, and execution gap, can be bridged by the translators. Those translators are nothing but deep processors, and one more is called as language migrator. Pranish, yes, are you understanding? Yes, nobody is answering. What the specification gap does? The specification gap gives the specification between the PL domain and specification domain. Simply, it is called as the specification gap, where it gives the specifications by using the translators. And next is execution gap. This execution gap is also bridged by using the processors and translators. By using the processors and translators, or even the interpreters also. The gap between the PL domain and execution domain, this gap is bridged by execution gap, that is by using the translators. The translators are nothing but the language migrator and the deep translator and preprocessors. So these, it is bridged by using the translators. And specification gaps, as I have told, it is used by giving the specification that by the designer, means specification to design. Specification to design. How the gap is bridged here? Here the gap is bridged by giving the specification to designer. The specification to designer. How the gap is bridged here in execution gap? The gap is bridged in execution gap by the preprocessor, by the preprocessors or processors and translators to have the execution gap. That is what here it is told. The execution gap is bridged by the designer of the programming language, that is PL processors, namely a translator or interpreter. Namely a translator or interpreter. Now next is, what are the advantages of this implementing the PL domain? What are the advantages? We have seen so many lacunas without the PL domain. What were the lacunas? The program, the large development time, and there is a large effort, and also the poor software without the PL domain, only directly from application to execution. Now introducing the PL domain, it increases the advantages, or it helps in benefiting the execution. How does it helps? It helps, the gap is to be bridged by the software designer is now between the application domain and PL domain, rather than between the rather than between now the application and execution domain. This you know it very well, which I have told here. Now this is the gap between the application domain and execution domain, rather than between the, means this is the gap between the, this PL domain is bridging the gap between application domain and execution domain. So rather than having earlier case. Now the second is that apart from bridging the gap between PL and execution domain, who is that PL and execution domain? PL and execution domain. Apart from bridging the gap between PL and execution domain, the language processor provides the capability to detect and indicate the errors in the program. Like how, say for example, here in the other slide which I have told you. So it generates some errors. This is because of the gap which is bridging between PL domain and execution domain. It generates some error because if you go with the compilers, they have some compilers checks for errors. So errors are detected in the program. This helps the programmer very easily to identify that error, and again do some changes and do some modifications and come back and run the program. That is one advantage. That's what it's having, the advantage of the advantage of bridging the gap between PL domain and execution domain is execution gap. This gap is bridged by having the translators. That translators will also have some error detecting. How the error detecting translators, those, some, say for example, compilers, assemblers, they detect the error and they give the error corrections, and after the error corrections we can execute the program. That's what's a execution program. So that's what it improves the quality of the software. It improves the quality of the software. This what we have studied. We have studied about the gaps, about the domains. What were the domains? Application domain and execution domain. And semantic gap was there, and this was semantic gap was fulfilled by PL domain. And PL domain gave you gave you the proper gave you the proper understanding between PL domain and execution domain. And there is a gap between the PL domain and the application domain that was bridged by specification gap. And the specification gap is nothing but the gap between the designer and the application. Is the gap between the designer and the application. Whereas the whereas the gap between the PL domain and execution domain is nothing but the execution gap, and this gap was bridged by using the translators. This gap was bridged by using the translators. Translators helps in detecting the error. That's what there is an advantage of using the PL domain. This we have studied. By implementing the PL domain, these are the advantages. Yes, have you understood, Pallavi? Pallavi?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you understood, Pallavi? Shruti, have you understood? Onkar?
एक बात पूछो क्या मैडम?
हाँ.
ये सिमेंटिक गैप में अगर मेरे पास एक इमेज है, सिंगर की इमेज है, तो वो सिंगर गा रहा है, तो मुझे उसको स्माइल देनी है, तो वो स्माइल देने का जो प्रोसेस है वो मुझे एप्लीकेशन डोमेन में करना होगा या फिर एग्जीक्यूशन डोमेन में? वो आइडियाज कहाँ पे होते हैं, एप्लीकेशन में या फिर एग्जीक्यूशन?
एग्जीक्यूशन इज नथिंग बट डायरेक्टली कोड रहता है, उधर कुछ नहीं कर सकते. यू हैव टू गिव इन स्पेसिफिकेशन. ओके, क्लियर कट आइडिया शुड बी गिवन इन स्पेसिफिकेशन.
तो फिर एग्जीक्यूशन में क्या सिर्फ मशीन कोड होगा क्या?
Execution is no there, that is their part only to do the coding. However, you give the specification apart, accordingly the coding is done. Specification is something like the design how you are designing. So that is nothing but you are giving the clear cut idea. So execution is nothing but which handles that run outcome. अगर आपको स्माइल चाहिए तो स्माइली रहना चाहिए एक्सक्यूशन में.
हाँ, मैं वही बोल रहा था कि एप्लीकेशन में, एग्जीक्यूशन में तो फिर मशीन कोड होगा आपके मुताबिक. ठीक है, ठीक है. लेकिन आइडियाज एप्लीकेशन में होंगे.
there are lot of difference. You cannot directly go to directly the coding part. You cannot directly go to the coding part. So if you want to go directly to the coding part, what the specification you have to give? You have to give the specifications in the design to the designer itself only, that you wanted like this. Ultimately now you are telling that directly you can go with the coding. I mean to say the algorithm should be correct, and that accordingly your coding will run. If the algorithm is correct, your code will run accordingly that. So in algorithm only you should give the specification of smiling. How you give the specification of smiling? Like saying as features, gesture. Yes, understood ओनकर?
हाँ, ठीक है, मतलब थोड़ा सा ठीक है, ठीक है.
हाँ, डायरेक्टली आप कोडिंग में नहीं कर सकते हैं, कोडिंग में भी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन आप जो स्माइल चाहिए बोल रहे ना, दिस itself is nothing but a specification. So directly what you can do, if you know the coding, you can directly put your hand into coding and you can modify it and do the changes and take accordingly the output. सो ये एरर है कि नहीं, अगर मैं इधर मैं मॉडिफिकेशन करा, ये सब किसका हेडेक है? सिर्फ कोडर का ही हेडेक है। ये सब करेक्ट होता कि नहीं, ये सब देखने के लिए क्या है, कंपाइलर्स वो है, एरर चेक करता है, देन कम बैक एंड इट विल रन द प्रोग्राम and it gives you the output. So what the specification you have told, that specification is between application and design. Here I have told no, that specification is between the application and designer, is between the specification and designer. Yes, Onkar.
हाँ ठीक है धन्यवाद।
आज का कोई concept, it was only the gaps, it was only all about the gaps. So all of you have means understood. So by having the gaps, first उनकर आपके हिसाब से नहीं तो विदाउट डिजाइनर, विदाउट स्पेसिफिकेशन, वो पहला एक जो मैंने बताया था ना, वन गैप, सिमेंटिक गैप बिटवीन द एप्लीकेशन एंड डायरेक्ट एग्जीक्यूशन, एप्लीकेशन एंड डायरेक्ट एग्जीक्यूशन, ये हो जाएगा। डायरेक्टली आपको स्माइल चाहिए तो आप, लेकिन आप पहले नहीं बोले स्माइल, सिर्फ आपको एक सिंगर चाहिए होल्डिंग ए माइक, इतना ही बोले। सो दैट इज नथिंग बट reflecting to the first one, and if you wanted a smile, that is nothing but reflecting to the PL. Here you introducing something who is acting here, a PL is nothing but the program to have such a smile in your image. So something a PL has to do where it conveys properly, gives the clear cut idea to introduce the smile. So that can be coded, so the specification which you are telling, smile to be given, that itself is nothing but a user is telling to the application to be of this type. A user is telling application to be of this type to the specification designer, and the specification designer makes it a clear cut idea in its the rule of the PL program, and they frame the algorithm and they run they frame the algorithm. According to the algorithm, a coding part is done and it is executed.
हाँ वही समस्या भी वही थी मेरी, एप्लीकेशन में करना होगा या नहीं। ठीक है।
Next, any question? Anybody? उनकर आप भी पूछो। और
नहीं खाली मुझे सिर्फ उतना ही समझ में नहीं आया था, मतलब मुझे वो एनालाइज नहीं हो रहा था कि कहाँ पे करना था, इसलिए पूछा था। बाकी आया है समझ में, धन्यवाद।
ये एक है और ये एक है, ये दोनों कैसे ब्रिज हुआ गैप्स? ये ब्रिज हुआ गैप बाय PL। PL इज प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज। अब प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज सिंपली तो नहीं आता उसको, प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज इटसेल्फ इज नथिंग बट ए विच प्रोसेस द लैंग्वेज, व्हाट लैंग्वेज यू आर मेकिंग चॉइस। अगर आपको स्माइल है तो कौन सा लैंग्वेज यूज करूं, क्या यूज करूं, कैसे होगा? सो वो जो भी लैंग्वेज होगा उसको प्रोसेस करेगा। लैंग्वेज प्रोसेस करने के लिए ट्रांसलेटर्स चाहिए। सो दिस PL is bridging the gap by, to have the execution is bridging the gap by having the translators. Who are those translators? Those translators can be preprocessors and language migrator, and it can be some different translators like interpreter, all such things. Okay. आप इमेज बोल रहे थे, इमेज प्रोसेसिंग के लिए उसके हिसाब से प्रोसेसर्स रहते, इमेज प्रोसेसर्स, image pre-processing, image processors, how does it captures? So here we are talking about the language, so language translators we are talking. एक मशीन है, एक कंप्यूटर, जैसे मैं ओपन किया, इसमें क्या क्या है, ये सभी नथिंग बट दीज ऑल आर नथिंग बट द सिस्टम सॉफ्टवेयर्स। एंड इन दिस सिस्टम सॉफ्टवेयर्स, ये सॉफ्टवेयर कैसे बिल्ड हो गए, ये पर्टिकुलर यूजिंग सम पर्टिकुलर language, using some particular language. So that itself a language. Now to run any type of the task in this computer, to run that task is nothing but using the system softwares. And suppose in particular system software, like in compiler you want to run a C language. So C is a language which it has to process, the that language. So to process that language, it comes so many several consequences, like from preprocessor is required. Then not only preprocessor, assemblers are required to convert the assembly, because the machine understands in assembly language. Then again, some error corrections are required. So if any errors are there during the runtime, so these all are nothing but computer, it itself is nothing but a something like a big compiler. So it itself is nothing but a translator. Sorry, it itself is not only a translator, a processor. Any doubts? जो भी आज पढ़े, जनरल तो छोड़ो, जो भी आज पढ़े, I told about gaps and I have told about gap bridges, how it was bridging, and I have told you about its advantages. So let us take the attendance. One,
Present.
two,
Present, ma'am.
3, 4,
3 present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am. 4 present, ma'am.
5, 6.
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am. 5 present.
ma'am.
Okay.
6 present, ma'am.
Okay. 7,
Present, ma'am.
8,
Present.
9,
Present, ma'am.
10,
Present, ma'am.
11,
Present, ma'am.
12, 13, 14,
Present, ma'am.
15,
Ma'am. Present, ma'am.
16,
Present, ma'am.
17,
Yes, ma'am.
18,
Present, ma'am.
19,
Present, ma'am.
20, 21,
Present.
22,
Present, ma'am.
24, 25,
Present, ma'am.
26, 27,
Present, ma'am.
28, 29,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
30, 31,
Present, ma'am.
32, 33,
Yes, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
34,
Yes, ma'am.
35,
Present, ma'am.
36, 37,
Ma'am, 35 present.
38,
38 present, ma'am.
okay, 39, 40,
Present, ma'am.
41,
Present,
okay, 43,
ma'am. Present, ma'am.
44, 45,
Present, ma'am.
46,
Present, ma'am.
47,
Yes, ma'am.
48,
Yes, ma'am.
49,
Present,
50,
ma'am.
51, 52.
51 present, ma'am.
Okay. 53, 52, 53, 54,
Present, madam.
55, 56,
Present.
57,
Present.
58,
Present, ma'am.
59,
Present, ma'am.
60,
Present, ma'am.
61,
Present,
62,
ma'am.
63,
Present, ma'am.
64,
Present, ma'am.
65,
Present.
66,
Present, madam.
67, 68,
Present.
69,
Present.
70,
Present.
71. Sorry, there is no 71.
Hello, ma'am.
This list I will repeat. 5, 12.
Madam, roll number 5 is present.
Okay.
Ma'am, 12 is
12.
also present. Present, ma'am, 12.
20.
14 is present, ma'am. Ma'am, roll number 20 present.
Hello, I am repeating. No, just wait. Wait. Huh? Absentees list I am repeating. 20. 24.
20 present, ma'am.
Who is 20?
20.
Who is 20? Sonia.
Sonia.
24.
24 present.
24 is also present. 24 is present.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 30.
30. Hello, ma'am. 30 roll number is present. Hello.
44.
44.
44.
Present, ma'am.
44, your name? $52. 53. आप बेचारे 2 ही एब्सेंट थे 52 53 फिर उनको भी कोई बोलो ना प्रेजेंट 52 53 63 तो क्लास में 3 ही एब्सेंट थे बहुत अच्छा है क्लास ओके थैंक यू ऑल प्राणेश ओनकार प्राणेश बात
मैम
तो करो।
44 प्रेजेंट.
मैं 44 को मार्क एब्सेंट नहीं करी मैं और एक बार रिपीट करती हूँ आपके क्लास में सिर्फ 3 ही बच्चे एब्सेंट हैं आज 52 53 और 63 सभी लोग प्रेजेंट बोले ओके थैंक यू ओके एब्सेंट 52 और 53 है 63 है उनको बोल दो नहीं तो अभी जल्दी आने के लिए बोलो नहीं तो प्राणेश